Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this is your space to connect, learn, and grow alongside a community of trailblazing women who, just like you, they are making their mark in the world of business. From personal branding to powerhouse marketing, from leadership to lifestyle tips, we've got you covered. So get ready to ignite your passion, fuel your purpose, and unlock your potential with Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Let's make this journey together and turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Hey guys, and welcome back to Female Entrepreneurs Show. You know what, guys? I am super excited today because, we could bring you all kinds of impactful leaders, innovators, and visionaries. I'm actually your host, Angel France. And today we have an incredible honor of speaking with someone whose work has reshaped leadership as we know it. She is a trailblazer in the realm of emotional intelligence, a sought after speaker, and a leadership coach, a top executive across all industries, especially females. And you know what? She is a groundbreaking work in neuroscience based coaching, and perhaps you might have even heard of her transformative impacts on leadership. So, she is a high performing, emotional, intelligent team leader around the world. That is what she's known as. Her expertise includes master level background in psychology, advanced certificates in neuroscience, relational drama, and also psychological, negotiation. I need the negotiation part. Trust me, a lot of times. Okay, that's right. We're joined today by the woman known as the modern day oracle. I love that. The one and only Teresa Lodato. Did I say that right? Lodato?
Lodato, it's Italiano.
Lodato. Well, I'm a Southern girl, so we'll get it right.
Yeah, it's quite all right.
Yeah. So if you want to add to that and tell us a little bit more about you, we'd love to hear that in your journey as an entrepreneur.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I think for me, I've been an intuitive my whole life, and I was in financial services for over 20 years. And I ended up burning out. I was in a difficult marriage, as well as like not getting a lot of sleep. There was lots of issues going on, and all the stress ended my career. And I got really, really sick and developed a rare and serious form of migraine where I get stroke-like symptoms and I black out. And so that is really what took me to this place of wanting to help other high power women executives and women business owners to really get a handle on the stress that's going on in their lives and be able to leverage their innate gifts and strengths so that they can create sustainable success. Because clearly I wasn't able to do that when I was in financial services. I was not fully using my innate gifts, although I was somewhat with my clients and their portfolios and whatnot. But I wasn't fully engaged and leveraging it in the best way possible. And it was because of all the stress that I was experiencing. And so now that I have realized that connection, it's what I help other women to get past in their lives, reducing that stress so that they can access their innate gifts and strengths and live a life that is filled with purpose and joy. That's really my passion.
And being an intuitive, oh my God, and crunching numbers, I could just see the stress. I could just see it.
It's funny. It was actually more of the invisible stress that was holding me back. It was dealing with a toxic, being in a toxic relationship. It was having, a young child at home and having this experience of my husband wanting me to be a traditional wife and yet also wanting me to work And so it was kind of this weird trad wife hybrid that he was expecting from me and that I was trying to fulfill. And because of that stress, I mean, that's probably that category is the hardest hit for invisible stress out of all the different categories of relationships that I've, seen and researched, because we're expected to do it all and be it all and have it all. We're trying to, hold our own goals and succeed, but then also measure up in a lot of ways to whatever society's expectations or our spouses or our family's expectations are. So that was really the invisible stress that I was battling at the time that I wasn't aware of.
And you brought up a very good point because, oh my God, not only spouses, but family members do this as well to us. And as a female entrepreneur, how did you overcome that? You're going to help so many people with this because this is exactly what happens. We will stifle our own self because we don't know
Yes.
how to overcome it. Any
Yeah.
tips?
Yes. Well, this is the reason my company is called Becoming Aware, because I feel like becoming aware is it becoming aware creates sustainable success. And I think that's the challenge for a lot of people, especially women entrepreneurs, is they don't recognize the need for self-awareness, or they might have some self-awareness, but they're not really investing fully into becoming more aware in their lives because they're so caught up, because they're constantly putting out fires, because they're constantly running around taking care of all the things they think they should be doing instead of focusing on what is the next right step. And so, my tips for listeners that are trying to navigate this is, number one, understand your expectations, your roles. What exactly is it that you are expecting of yourself, or that your spouse or your family or your community or society? Examine all those different layers of what you think the expectations are. And then ask yourself if that's what is important to you, because it's all about balancing our own values along with the values of whatever else we are holding in high esteem, or that we are valuing those other relationships. The next thing is recognize the stories that you're telling yourself, not only to yourself, but what you're telling yourself about what other people are thinking about you. That ties right into those expectations. In fact, I did my first TEDx talk on this topic. It was released in June, and it has since become one of the top 2% of all TEDx talks, because it focuses on a really narrow viewpoint of negativity bias. But the biases that we hold inside of us in our brains, that is part of the invisible stress. The stories that I tell myself about what other people are thinking about me can stress me out, especially if I am an entrepreneur who is struggling to make everything happen in their lives. Or if you are that, traditional wife hybrid that is expected to be all, do all, chances are the stories that you're telling yourself are what is getting in the way of you creating that joy and fulfillment and purpose in your life and really living it fully. So, those two tidbits are a great start for you, just to raise your awareness and just start to notice, what do you believe and what are you choosing to believe? Once you realize, oh my gosh, I've got this belief or this bias that's going on, once you have the awareness around it, then you have the opportunity to be empowered and say, is this something I still believe? Is this working for me? And if it's not, then you have the choice to change it. And so, right then and there, you're canceling out your habit, you're canceling out any belief that is pre programmed, anything unconscious, and you are making that conscious choice. And then here's the kicker: you have to continue doing that, because those old beliefs are going to continue to come up. And if you don't stop and pause and say, wait a minute, do I believe this? Is there new data that I need to know that has now confirmed that this belief is indeed true? Oh, there's not? Okay, now I have the choice. And you have to keep doing that until you establish a new pattern that is supportive of your new belief system.
Yeah. Oh my God. You just have hit on everything. There's not an entrepreneur who probably hasn't faced one or all of the things you just spoke about, because I was in a marriage that I had the same situation. They thought I had to be the perfect little whatever, but there was just no way. And I had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I was in my 20s, and I was like, woo. And and I'm like, and still the other aspects of it, okay, it's a choice. I have a choice of what I want to do today. And what is that choice I'm going to do? And sometimes it's every second of every day.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is so critical, is that in each moment, we have the choice to follow something that we value. I value love in my relationships. I value love in my life. I value freedom. That's one of my top values: love, freedom, family, loyalty. I value being able to stand up and be empowered. That's something that's really important to me. When I am doing things that don't make me feel empowered, that don't give me freedom, that make me feel like, gosh, I really don't like this, I'm not in love with what I'm doing right now. Or if there's some kind of trust factor where, I don't feel a loyalty to this person because I don't feel like they have my back. If I do any of those things, I am out of alignment with my value system. And when I am out of alignment, it automatically elicits the stress response in my body, in my brain and my body, which puts me in an emotion that is below the line, a lower frequency emotion. Dr. David Hawkins has an image called the map of consciousness that describes the different frequencies of the different emotions. And in my work, I'm always helping bring awareness to when women are in their lower frequency emotions, because those emotions automatically elicit a stress response. If you can identify that as that flag and that trigger, you're going to be able to bring more awareness to whatever that belief is or whatever is going on in your life, and then make a choice to choose something that has a higher frequency of emotion, choosing joy, choosing freedom, choosing gratitude, choosing happiness. And so that brings us back to every moment you have that option. If you're not doing something that you love, ask yourself why you're doing it. You might be doing it because it's providing you money for your family. And hey, security is really important to your family. So maybe you look at it through that lens rather than, I hate what I'm doing. And so finding the value that takes you to that higher frequency emotion is going to allow you to be within that parameter of not having that stress response constantly activated, which takes you out of your awareness.
So you brought up another good point, that the value, those core values. Do you like people to have 5 or 10 that they position themselves to, so they stay in that higher frequency when they look at something? So 5 or 10.
You know what? I don't think it really matters whether it's 5 or 10. It's what is really important to you. For people who have never identified their values, I suggest they start out with 5 because it's a lot easier list to manage. But hey, if you've got 10 that are really super important to you, number one, I check and say, okay, are all of those really important, or can you narrow the list down? But if they are really super important to you, then all of the things that you choose have to tick off those 10. So that's why I usually recommend 5, but you know what? It doesn't really matter how many, as long as you are staying in alignment with what's really important to you, or changing your perspective about something so it is in alignment, because that is going to release that stress and allow you to access all of your innate gifts so that you can create that sustainable success.
So I usually don't go deep dive into all of this, but I am going to go that way with you, just because I know, because you brought it up. So I'm just going to give you an example. So you brought up one really good example, that I do this job. Maybe I'm an entrepreneur, but I do this job as well because it helps support my family.
Mhm.
Correct?
Mhm.
Okay. If that is one of your core values, then you need to make that a positive, or
Yes.
find another way to get that income situated around. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, I think it's more, a lot of times we feel like we're not at choice. Especially in the current economy, it can be tough to, you could be an entrepreneur that's struggling to get clients because maybe your target audience or the people that you serve, or the products that you offer, maybe people can't afford it for whatever reason. Okay. Or maybe they're just choosing not to purchase that because they're choosing to purchase things that are really core necessities that they need in their life. Okay. So maybe that's the environment that an entrepreneur is in. You might think, okay, maybe I need to take a second job or get like a real job, as entrepreneurs might sometimes say it, just to kind of support my income. Well, if you're doing that from a place of, oh, I hate that I have to take a job. Oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me if I have to take a job to help support my business? Or what is my spouse going to, or whatever those things are? You are not in alignment. Number one, you are telling yourself stories. So you have beliefs that you perhaps aren't recognizing. But if you do bring awareness to it and you say, okay, wait a minute, that doesn't feel good. Like that doesn't make me feel good going for this job. How can I reframe it so that it can be something that I'm excited about? And so that's where that reframing principle comes in. Okay, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I need more money. I'm not bringing in enough money. And I want to be able to support my family in the best way that I can. And so taking this job, it's going to be short term, or it's going to be, a set number of times or set number of hours that will provide my family the freedom, the security, whatever is important. That paradigm shift between what are people going to think about me and shifting it to, no, this is a really positive. This is what a responsible wife, mother, person does to in order to make sure that they're taken care of, then that's a reframe. And hey, now you're excited about finding a job. You're excited about finding it because you know it's going to provide you what you need. So I don't think it's necessarily you have to choose, because then that becomes a judgment. It's more you get to choose, and just follow your bliss in that way. Follow what makes you excited. As long as you're doing that, you're staying in those higher frequencies of emotions, and you are automatically releasing that stress response.
I love the fact that you're real and you are getting to the core of most entrepreneurs. I have been known to have a real job and two other side gigs that I created. I have been known to do that, guys. So just know you're not alone. And that's what this is for. You guys need to understand it's okay. I mean, have you ever done that? Because I have. Or have you just had clients that have done that before? Get a job and do other things.
I have not done it, but I work with clients who do, because it really is, it's the reality of the situation. But like I said, what brings it back is so many clients are thinking that that's bad to do. So we have these beliefs that are, putting this pressure on us that, oh, people are going to think certain way, or this is bad. If I'm an entrepreneur, I should be successful all the time because everyone on social media who's an entrepreneur is successful and it's constantly being shown to me. But the reality is, it's life is what you make of it, and your business is what you make of it. And so being able to not only have the correct mindset, mindset is a piece, but it's also having that awareness and understanding and having tools that you can grab really quickly to help shift you so that you are constantly staying in a state, a emotional frequency state that is supporting your efforts rather than bringing down your efforts or catalyzing your effort, not catalyzing, but cannibalizing your efforts because it's draining your energy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I used to look at it like, okay, I'm doing this because I have to learn something.
Mhm.
What is it I have to learn? So, yeah,
Mm.
just another thing. So, all right. So now that we're talking about this and we're talking about people's superpower that they have that superpower to choose. What would be your one superpower you would want if you had it for one day?
Oh, I would love the ability to time travel. Between time travel and fly, those are usually the two that I go back and forth between. But I think the ability to time travel, and actually, it's something we can, not in the superficial, UFO sci-fi way, but we have the ability to time travel because we are constantly slipping into our memories in the past and looking forward into our future. So we're constantly time traveling. And I think this is why the book, you had asked me earlier, what is my favorite book? The Power of Now is my favorite book by Eckhart Tolle, because it reminds you that life happens in the present. And so instead of future tripping and developing anxiety or anxious thoughts or worrying or thinking back to the past, and having guilt or shame or whatever emotions come up, when we stay in the present moment and we can check in with ourselves, how am I feeling right now? What is the choice that I have to change how I'm feeling right now? Do I believe that it can be changed right now? Or what is the gratitude I can find in this moment? When you start focusing on that and remain in the present moment, you are much more empowered to live your life in those higher frequency emotions that, like I said, naturally eliminate that stress response in our body so that we have full access to our prefrontal cortex in our brain, the area where we have access to executive functioning, rational thinking, emotional regulation, being able to not get kicked up into either fear or anger when something happens in our lives. All those things are superpowers within ourselves. And I think so many people just get lost in the unconscious nature and time traveling between forward and back that just ends up eroding their present lives and their relationships and the work that they could be doing in their business.
Wow, that's awesome. It's all about the superpower. It's a choice, everything. So if you were to go back to your 18-year-old self and tell her one thing, what would it be?
Hmm. I would tell her that everything is going to be okay and to just trust her intuitive guidance. As long as she trusted herself and trusted her intuitive guidance, her life would be whatever she wants to make of it.
I love it. I love it. One fact that nobody really knows about you.
Well, now that I'm out of the closet as an intuitive and modern day oracle, people know that. The one fact most people don't know about me is I was a competitive equestrian for most of my life.
Really? Oh
Yes.
my God.
So I competed across multiple disciplines. I did Western equitation and Western pleasure classes. I also did competitive trail riding for the National Association of, or NATRC, the National Association of Trail Riding Conference, I think is what it stands for, NATRAC. I also did dressage. I also did hunter jumping and English, just different English riding. I've also I had my horses on a cattle ranch and got to be very close with the owners of the cattle ranch, and so I've gone out and I've herded cattle. So I've done lots of different things on horseback. I've actually done some archery as well, and I'm looking forward to the day where I can combine the archery and horseback riding because I think that would be a lot of fun to do.
Okay. I can envision it. Can totally envision it. All right. What is your favorite song?
My favorite song, I have so many songs that are favorites. My favorite singer is Sting, and Fields of Barley, or Barley, Fields of Gold, I think is the song. Fields of Barley is what the word is. So Fields of Gold by Sting. But if I am looking to get confident, then Demi Lovato's Confident is the song that I do. Yeah.
That's an awesome song. They both are.
Yeah.
All right. How do you stay motivated?
Focusing on my values. Yeah. Focusing on my values and just choosing who I want to be in this moment and checking in and, thinking about, okay, who do I want to be? Who am I aspiring to be? Am I better than I was yesterday? That's kind of who I constantly compare it back to. Am I at least a little better than I was yesterday? At least do I have more awareness about how I can become a better person? Is that improved? Am I actively taking steps to become that better person?
Wow. I love that. That is just so true. And is everybody listening doing the same thing? They just need to follow your direction, right?
That's all you have to do.
Elevate, and you're good. So do you have a giveaway or a phone call or something that you're giving away? Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Well, I've got a few things that are going on in October. My beginning intuition and energy class will be starting on October 9th. It's a virtual class. It meets for 8 weeks. So if you're looking for ways to access your innate gifts and really start to heal yourself without having to do therapy, without having to, commit to long coaching programs or, or do, read all the self-help books in all your spare time. You can join the intuition class. But the thing that I'm really excited about is in October, I'm bringing back my energy wellness sessions. So it's weekly energy wellness sessions. I'm a Karuna as well as angelic Reiki master. I also have a lot of other certifications across different energy modalities, and I bring them all in. And for an hour every week, you can sign in virtually and just be in the wonderful wellness energy that I provide. And it's something that I'm giving people complimentary access to it for the first month. And I can give you the link and the code. The code is want to be well. So that's want, W-A-N-T, the number 2, the letter B, and then well, W-E-L-L. And that will give you 1 month free for the monthly membership. It's a $77 value. $77 is not that much to have weekly Reiki sessions and energy wellness sessions. But I'm really doing it because given the political environment, not only here in the United States, but also around the world, as well as the holidays are coming up, all of this are really stressful times for people. And so I just want to be able to give back and provide something that people can tune into, recenter, relax, come back to those, releasing that stress response so that they can start their day with being in those higher levels of emotional frequency that will just provide you so much more confidence and clarity as you go about your day.
I love it. That is totally fabulous. That is, amazing. So, with that being said, I know you have another appointment. I just want to thank you for being here with me. You're so amazing. I cannot wait to get the link so we can put in the code. So, and we'll just talk again because you're just so amazing. I cannot wait to see you in the magazine. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.